in here. You're live.
Your good side.
There we go.
I'm showing them mine.
Make sure I got everything on.
So you gotta go get Amy if she calls you?
Yeah, she's still stuck out there. She can't get out of the jam.
It's a mess.
There, it's a mess.
172, there was a bad
172, there was a
accident.
bad accident out there. 3-car lady died.
Okay, everything's on now. Just hang on.
Actually, Jana is Megan's first cousin. She was first on the scene.
Brenda.
She said she was behind a black van that was
Had
swerving.
that accident.
Swerving.
Okay, it's
People
on.
left
Take-
the track,
take-
the trucks that
Hit a white
they had to go on the
van.
grass.
Jeep hit that.
Make sure.
Welcome everyone to our February 13th Osnaburg Township Trustees meeting. And we'll start with the pledge and a short devotion. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You bow your head. Dear Lord, we thank you so much for the wonderful individuals willing to work for our township and to serve our community. Pray that you be with our fire and EMS as they're out currently on a call in our township. Pray that you be with all of us and give us the wisdom for wise decisions. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
So welcome, everyone. I have a couple additions to the agenda. And it's all going to fall under new business. One is with the health department meeting coming up. One is with the Stark County Regional Planning Annual Dinner. And then the last one, and I don't see it on here, we'll give a quick update of what happened down at the annual township convention. Just a short, quick thing. Any other additions or changes for you guys?
I need an executive session. There's no action, nothing. I just need to,
At the end.
What?
yeah.
When? At the
It
end?
can be whenever. It's just
Okay.
3 trustees. I just need to
Okay.
tell you about something that's coming.
So do you have your language?
I've got my sheet.
Here we go.
Okay,
Yeah, I've got one.
we'll do it at the end though.
Yeah, but there definitely won't be no.
So there will
Definitely.
be an executive session at the end with no action being taken, so
Okay.
everyone will be dismissed before that meeting.
Okay.
All right, with that, let's go on. We have approval of the minutes.
Trustee Barry moved to approve the minutes as presented.
Trustee Pierce, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And that was for 123 of 2023, not 22.
Trustees, I would ask you to, there's multiple places on these to sign. Because at the end of the minutes, there's a signature area, but there's also the places where we had the ballot language on there. You'll see it all marked out. If you sign up for it, please.
So Brian, make sure you see on the agenda, it still has 22 there, not 23. As long as that's okay.
Yeah, keep in mind, I'm working on, working with myself here.
But I announced 23, so we should be good.
When you say we're, the
At
agenda,
the top of the agenda there.
I got 23, so where are you reading that?
It's number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4, thank you. All right.
Make sure you guys keep these in order
Oh, she made it.
when they get to you.
You're not even huffing and puffing.
I'm tired of sitting up here.
You gotta fight.
Why didn't you call me?
What am I gonna do with it?
Flashes on, put it inside of it, right?
What's that?
Put the flashes on, put it inside of it.
What, literally what
6
happens.
times, maybe.
6 what?
Maybe 6 times. Quite a few.
Okay.
I figured that.
And while we're signing those, can we discuss the treasurer's report?
Yep.
Is there any questions on there? Any
Fiscal
concerns?
Officer Larry, do you want to explain the money for the fire right now? Or do you want to wait and do that later?
Yeah, I can do. If you notice on your, the treasurer's report, I have the 2 reports, the one for the year and then the one since the last meeting. You'll see under advance in on the one for since the last meeting, it says $10,000.
Yes.
And then if you look at the year to date, you'll see a 30,000. So what that is, it is a total of $30,000. You're gonna see down under new business, I'm gonna ask for approval. That's where I had to advance money out of the general fund to put in the fire fund so we could operate to pay bills and do payroll. Just today, we had our first advance of real estate money that came in. It was around 26,000. If you make note on the fire fund, right now you have, at the pool balance says 26,143.69. But remember, 30,000 of that needs to go back in the general fund. So we're still in the rears right now until we get more real estate money.
So you're just taking this out to get the bread. You're planning on putting this back in?
Yes, definitely. It's Trustee Puro, it's called an inter-fund post, and you're only allowed to do it out of the general fund, because a lot of times when you get in January and February, if you run your funds down too low, it gives you time to take from the general fund to at least get going in the first part of the year. And this is the first time I ever had to do that ever. Usually I have 30, 40,000 in that fire fund to be able to start up the new year. And this is the first year that didn't have that.
Trustee Varian moves to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
Trustee Pugh, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And here are your minutes in that report. I see we have no one here at this time for public speaks. So we're going to move on to the fire report. And are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. Welcome.
Ready as I'm gonna be.
All right.
So Fiscal Officer Lowry had mentioned to me about the Ohio billing training on March 24th and 25th. They had talked about it at the when he was in Columbus. There's supposed to be a lot of good information on billing. There's supposed to be a lot of good information on documentation. And he had asked about sending people. I am interested / willing to go. I still need to figure out some scheduling that weekend. We're still working on the schedule at the station, so I would like to go and get some of that information. I don't know that anyone else will be able to go. I don't know that I have the staff.
Is it out of town?
Both. It is not. It's at Stark State, but it's all day Friday and Saturday.
Right.
So
Ohio billing, when I was down at the conference, they really suggested they put this up to get the speakers there and the information. They really suggested like the firefighters and paramedics get to that.
Yeah. Is there a cost?
Yeah, $99 per person.
Well, I think we should approve that because you with that $99 in a little bit of time, you might be able to find something that we're missing. I think it's worth your time if you can get there. Trustee Varian moves to approve $99 for Chief Parker to go to the training at Stark State if the schedule allows.
Trustee Pugh, second.
Roll call.
Ohio Billing is putting it on. It's just
Varian.
being hosted there. No, if that makes any difference.
Varian.
Yes.
Puro.
Yes.
Griffith.
Abstain.
I received a resignation letter this week from Brandon Henkel. He simply is working too many places and doesn't have the ability to give us the time. In fact, he's basically been offered more hours, sometimes at overtime hours, the other places that he's working. So technically it's effective March 1st, but he has already worked his last shift that he's on the schedule for as of the 9th. I told him that something changed to get a hold of us, but so I do have his letter. It's not on me currently, but I do have a letter from him for his resignation effective March 1st.
March 1st.
And what does that put us down to?
That would put us down to 15.
Trustee Varian moves to accept the resignation. I'm sorry, first name again.
Brandon.
Thank you. I wanted to say Brian. Brandon Hinkle, effective March 1st.
Trustee Griffith seconds. All in favor? Aye.
I'm going to skip down and come back to what I have listed next. So we had an interview on Saturday with a candidate who has her fire card and her EMT. She is both brand new at both. She finished her fire card in December. She currently works for Strasburg Fire Department. They're pretty similar to us, so it's a part-time sort of thing. We interviewed her. We feel like she would be a good candidate, but we also are aware that she has applied like 4 to 5 other places where she will likely make more. So I don't know. I would like to offer her a position, knowing that she may choose one of the other offers that she has going on. I know at least has one other offer. So.
Remind me again, do we need to approve that or can you hire?
You usually approve the hiring.
Okay. Do we have all the
We
information
usually
for
do
her?
that after they accept it, though.
Can you offer it and see?
You
I can.
can offer it.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Great,
Yeah.
let's offer and see. Cross our fingers, see
All right.
what's to come back.
Yeah, hopefully she takes it.
2 other things. One, we are sending Tyler Palm to the fire inspector class. We looked, our fire code book is from 2014. We need a more current copy of that to go to school with him. The 2017 is the most current copy of that book, and it is $120. I need to order it online. I would have to get with fiscal officer Lowry to order that, but
Do you know who the vendor would be? That's okay if you don't have it.
I have it all written down in my car. It looks like JDP, John Professor and Associates Printing,
JDP.
JDP.
Is this something then that you keep at the?
Yeah, we would keep it. I mean, we own one. It's just
It's out
way
there.
outdated.
Yeah.
And so this $120 book is something that Tyler would use for the class, and then we'd be able to
The station
We'd
would
be able
keep
to replace our 14 with the 17.
Yep.
Okay. Trustee Barry moves to pay $120 to JDP to purchase the 2017 fire inspection book,
it. Yeah, the Ohio Fire Code book.
higher fire code book.
Trustee Cruz, seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
One other thing I want to mention, our water heater, Captain Adams flushed it today when he worked. And he said he flushed it. So far, it's not leaking. It had been leaking out of one of the discharges, but like up top. So one of the pressure relief valves.
Yeah, there's a pressure release
Yeah.
valve on the top.
So we had already replaced the parts in there. They were pretty corroded.
Okay.
He sent some pictures of what the inside of it looked like. It's working. Just putting it on your radar. It's
Got it.
original to the building. So it's a 1998 100-gallon water tank.
Wow.
When we replace it, I
That's
don't
it
know
now.
that we need to put another 100-gallon in. I would think 50 or 60 would be more than plenty. I don't know why they put 100-gallon in. It's huge.
Yeah, maybe. It's code.
For
It's a
commercial
big one.
building, maybe.
For a commercial building, I don't know. Could we not go smaller in a commercial?
How many showers are in there?
2.
Just a men's and a women's? Okay.
Yeah, we had
I
discussed.
mean, if there was no showers, you wouldn't even put anything close to that, but because of the shower, you put a bigger hot water.
I don't know. We had discussed a tank list, and Captain Adams does not think that would work for the gear washer because the temperature that the gear washer has to be would not be
Just
compatible with
depends.
the tank list. What's that?
It depends what size they can get them
Okay.
to it, whatever.
Okay. Like I said, it is still working. He flushed it. We're hopeful, but I just want to put that on your radar that if in like 6 months I say, hey, the hot water tank went out,
Okay.
you won't be surprised. So.
Okay.
I had on here to discuss levy information.
We're gonna, well, let's table that for another minute here and we'll
That's fine.
come back to it. On our agenda here, we've got a couple approvals, Brian. And I'm gonna probably need to get some information from you guys on truck 255 pump control valve.
I think that was 254. Was
Okay.
the tanker. It was leaking air from the tank to pump valve in the
Okay.
cab. And
Is this a straight approval? This is then and now?
You say this truck was 254, not
Mhm.
255?
254 for the
Okay,
tanker.
Because they wrote on the bill 255, or kind of scribbled it out, so it
What's
says
written on there,
254/5.
yeah, the pump control valve would be 254, it's the tanker.
So it's 254?
It is, yes. RVs came out to look at
Is
it.
this
They were
RVs?
able to get the parts and fix it in our bay.
Ask for,
Oh, they fixed it here. They
Yeah.
Fixed it.
They fixed it at the station.
Great. And then is the next one also, no, never mind, that's the one.
That's the, one of the furnaces went out.
Trustee Barry moves to pay R&B's truck $512.50 for a pump control valve on 254.
Trustee Pure seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then the 645 you said was one furnace? One, okay. Trustee Barry moves to pay $645 for service work that was completed in the furnace in the fire station, vendor Zorn Heating.
Trustee Pure seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Do we need to do anything with the Otarma grant check received?
I just wanted to let you know that check came in the mail today. That's the one Amy and Sue and I worked on. That she got the information on the invoices to us.
Great.
That's that $1,000 fire grant. We did
Great.
receive the check today.
Okay, anything else for fire before we talk levy info? Okay. One of the things we wanted to discuss as we're working toward some levy, and I apologize, I've not done a levy, and so I'm really learning a lot. As we know, the word is out there for the levy, and our fire department is getting questions as they enter homes and as they're working in the community. And so as we're working through this, there are rules that I didn't realize as we're kind of going through, but there's only so much we as paid people in this room are allowed to do. And so in my suggestion, I would like to find some representatives to help us with this levy soon, like really soon, like yesterday. Because we can't even make information sheets.
What are they asking?
So the question is why do you need a levy? I mean, of course, that's going to be the start. So the idea was, and one of the firefighters helped us put together, just, I sent it out to everybody, just kind of peruse, but put together just an informational sheet that we could give to everyone, or we could have a meeting. And I told Amy and I had agreed we could both make sure we go see every one of our firefighters at different shifts if we have to, and kind of explain, hey, this is our take on this. This is why we're doing it. This is, why we're putting a levy on. So we kind of have a unified front. So
We can do that. We'd have to come up with a few candidates. I know a couple meetings ago when we had the gentleman here, and that one gentleman afterwards volunteered to be part of that committee if we wanted. Was that our last meeting?
Does, I don't know, does it exclude fire members? Are they not allowed on that committee, or you don't know?
they can't be a paid employee.
Because it really limits you down to who knows what's what.
Right. So I guess the question is, and this person was brought up, and I have no idea if he's interested at all, but I'm just going to say his name because you guys don't know him. So if somebody like a Paul Tolson would say, hey, I want to help with this, he could
That'd be great.
create an information sheet and hand it out to our people and say, this is what this levy looks like.
He should be allowed to ask us questions.
Oh, absolutely. We would do it together, but
Okay.
we can't do it. So
Yeah.
We can't even, we should be able to hold a question and answer.
we can hold a question and answer, but we can't be as I read through a lot of what Brian gave
We
me.
can't create any documents.
As far as the higher revised code goes, we can't create documentation that promotes the levy as a paid employee. It's crazy, I know, but that's the rule. So it's got to be somebody else to create it. And we can help them through it, but we can't be the one that provides it.
You can give them all the facts.
Yes.
So we talked
Yeah,
about it.
we should have.
Give them all the numbers. You can give them all the fiscal things, the
Mhm.
treasury reports, all that, because that's all public knowledge stuff. But you just got to be careful when you're saying pros or cons. You just don't want to do that.
We have to be neutral.
You got to be neutral.
Do you have any training days and evenings that you're gonna have a lot of them there at night?
A lot of our personnel.
We should have a question, an open house question night.
I would like to hand our group something that says, hey, these are the bullets. Fold up, put in your pocket, throw one in each of the fire trucks, like ambulance. So if someone says, hey, what's this levy about? Oh, you know what? I got the sheet. No, I'll be right back. This is why we're doing it. These are the things that we're trying to accomplish from this. I'd love to do something like that, but I can't do it. So we need to get going on who can. And I'm,
Austin would be a great guy,
if he'd be, well, I
because he
Yeah.
used to be a firefighter.
Yeah.
he'd be great. And
Is that a conflict if he's retired?
No,
I don't think that.
I
it
don't
is.
think so.
He's not paid anymore.
Yeah, he's not. He's township resident. He happens to live in township, so that works for us.
So maybe we should recruit someone like Dick Bureau, a retired
Mhm.
trustee, to join in on that, to represent the rest of them.
Yeah,
Would Denny
Myers?
firefighter
Oh, I
Myers?
bet he would.
Would Denny Myers help us with that?
I bet he would.
He'd be a good
you
spokesperson.
need
for that.
somebody
agree.
that can answer the right question.
That's
I
it.
would agree.
That's it.
I would agree.
Or
That
they
is
can
also a good
really
person.
fumble the football.
They can really fumble the football. That's exactly right.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we had 2 weeks ago now, the Cub Scouts came to the fire station and there was just conversation in general. And I was like, that's not accurate. Hold on, stand by. Like,
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
bad part.
and so I was able to at least say,
Yeah.
that's not,
But you said that that group it was an overall positive experience.
oh yes,
And
very much
people
so.
love being in the fire department and realize that we are a little different than they might think from outside.
Yep.
I have had some negative feedback from the paper. I didn't see it in the paper, but
Mhm.
in one of them, the complaint was that we're double taxing them because we're collecting soft building. So,
That's not a tax.
Yeah,
well, they're saying it because ultimately in their mind, it filters back around and makes their insurance rates go higher because it's being used.
Yeah, I understand that. We'll have to think of some better ways to say that, because if we're not getting that money, then their insurance company is getting that money. They're not getting back that money.
Right.
Because if they were to be in an accident somewhere else or have a medical emergency somewhere else,
Maybe fully
they're
charged.
not only their insurance is paying, but they're writing a check from their own pocket as well. So we just need to accurately
Present that.
help them
Right.
understand.
Yes.
And that
So that
was
was an issue with some people.
that was one of the conversation points, at least from when the Cub Scouts were there, was people would rather see that money go to the fire department than the insurance companies.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
And it's, grass is always greener. Talk to somebody that hard bills, see what that bill looks like.
Yeah.
Like what, all of Canton City?
and even if they don't transport you, so if they just evaluate you,
You're still getting a bill.
you're still get a bill.
And the other complaint that I received was that because there's 3, they think it's very expensive.
Hmm.
And so they need the figures that it's, even if you
What the
pass all
break-
3, it's really not going to cost you very much
it was in the repository. I don't know how many people read that.
money. They didn't understand it. That's where they got the information from.
Right.
They broke it down. That's what it was per
Right.
100,000.
I didn't see it. For some reason, I thought that was a monthly charge.
I have to.
Oh, no.
So, I know. But
Okay.
so we definitely need someone to be the representative
Yeah.
to get the correct information.
Yes.
So
And
are
it's
you
a-
interested in Cliff talking to
Yeah, I can make some phone
Paul
calls.
or-
I don't want to be the only one making phone calls, but I'll call some people if everybody else will call some people.
I'll check on,
You know,
I
I
can't,
mean,
they're gone till the 24th, so that's only another week.
yeah, I can call Paul and you can tell me no. I mean, if he's listening to this right now, hi Paul. But I think he'd be a great one for it.
But Denny would too.
Danny would.
Yeah, and I have contact information.
I've not,
for him.
and I don't want this to be a conflict of interest, and I won't even ask if it is, but my father's, and he's done a lot of these before. He's done many school levies. He's done this before being a school board member, and he's retirement age and has a little bit of time, but I don't know that that's appropriate or not, but I'd be willing to ask him as well. So, but I'd like to, by the next meeting, by the 27th, I'd like for us to have someone as a spokesperson that we can bring in and work with to create,
Yeah,
some sort of document that we can start to, we're not going to get all the firefighters in one place at one time. It's not going to happen because they all have full-time jobs working different shifts, but I'm willing to sit up there for a week and, stop in when I can get people and say, hey, this is what this should look like. And I think I can go and do that if someone else creates it, but I can't create my own and go promote it. I can do it if someone else creates it. So
So do you want to
So I
try to
would,
have a work session before next meeting? So that we can meet with that person?
I think it's important. I'd like to do it as soon as possible. I will ask Paul Tolston and I will contact Danny Myers. Those will be my guys, if that's all right. I'll work on those two guys.
Would you want to try to have a work session on the 27th before our meeting?
That'd be great if we can.
Because I don't think it's going to take that long to provide data to the person.
Yeah, remember, that's the key, is they'll ask, you know, if you're preparing something, they're gonna ask, oh, what was your revenue back 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, or 16 years ago? What is it now? Those are all factual in our treasury report, but somebody helping needs some guidance of where that is
Yeah,
to
right,
get it.
right.
And I can get that pretty quick, all
Yeah.
that numbers.
This is a big ask for a volunteer, but if either of those guys or if somebody else that I cross paths with, if they're willing to come to that on that pre-session meeting.
So let's just schedule one for right now,
Okay,
a work session at 6:30. Think that's long enough?
I think it's good. Great, thank you.
Prior to the next meeting.
Yeah,
Prior
on
to
the next meeting's the 27th.
Great. Okay, and I'll work on,
Oh, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm good.
And if you guys-
I'll see what I can,
if your dad.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, if all three of them want to do it, I'd
Oh, I
do
think
them
that'd
all.
be great,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The more the merrier.
And then if we,
That way they
and
can
if we
stand right in front of
decide to have some public meetings about it, they really should be our spokespeople for that.
Yep.
You know. Okay, great. That's all I have for fire. Do you have
them.
anything
Yeah,
else?
I don't know. You gotta be careful with that too. And if you have a public meeting, sometimes it's better to come from us.
Yeah.
People just want to understand. but
Right.
The time again, 6 or 6:30?
6:30.
Do you have anything else, Amy? Okay. Thank you.
No, just that we've managed to have 4 calls since 4 p.m.
Oh, just today. Okay. Is there anything we need to know on the call log?
I will add that one of those call logs was to go pick up my mother-in-law who fell.
How was she?
She's still hospitalized.
Okay.
So, but Dan, who found her, and then Denny, said that once they called 911, he was confused, Daniel was, because the first person that answered asked him all these questions, and he told her all the things. And then she said, well, I have to transfer. And then she transferred him somewhere else, and they went through and asked him all the same questions again. And it was very frustrating for him to have to keep repeating to different people.
So the way it works is in Stark County, every 911 call is answered by Stark County Sheriff's Department, and they send
fill
you
it out.
out. You can call 488-1515. That is our particular emergency number. That would ring directly into CENTCOM.
Yeah, most people when they're in an emergency aren't going to think of that.
Nope.
Yeah.
I agree.
So-
So that's how it works in our county. You're
And I
automatically.
knew that's what was happening, so I explained it to him.
Yep.
But I was just expressing for someone in an emergency,
Sure.
that was very, very
Like-
1515.
488-1515 is our designated emergency number.
No,
Yeah,
I've
that
got
rings
453-5868. Is that CENTCOM?
probably.
453? That's what I have.
But they did say once they got through all of that, that they arrived very quickly, less than 10 minutes.
It's pretty good considering it's.
Yeah, because we're the last one.
You're the
That's
last
very
one.
good.
You're on the edge, Brenda. You're on
We
the
are
edge.
on the edge. I think that's a song too.
That's right. That's right.
So they were very happy with how quick they did arrive.
Okay.
He was frustrated with the 911 people on the other end.
That crew did say they got there and they're like, okay, like,
So I did want to say that they got there quickly and did a good job once they got off the phone. So is that it for fire?
Yep.
All right. let's move on.
Our 6 mutual aid from Louisville is not a problem, right? That's a little higher than the last couple, but they're not going to call us and complain.
a couple of them were second calls. We've been
Okay.
dropping a whole bunch of like a
Okay.
call within 5 or 10 minutes, another call. In fact, that happened twice tonight.
Okay.
We were on the accident on 172 and we were out there 5 minutes and they were like, just so you know, you have a grass fire on CM Crable. And I was like,
I-
okay.
On the way here, I heard that, and I drove by the fire department and saw the grass truck still there. I'm like, okay, they're still on 72.
Yeah, we would, yeah. So a couple of those were second calls.
Okay.
A couple of them were assists where we had more than one patient. I'll be honest, I saw their chief tonight. I think we're
Okay, good.
okay. I mean,
Okay.
they're short too,
Yep, got it.
so
It looks odd there, there's two on Maplebrook, just a little bit different, back to back.
yeah.
Was it,
Their squad pretty much had to drive past ours in someone else's driveway to get to the second patient. Like, we were at one house, was
So
within like 10 minutes.
non-related
Nope.
incidences?
Non-related,
We, like-
coincidence.
We sometimes joke that people were like, huh, well, that looks interesting, maybe I want to do that.
Yeah, got it. Good. All right, chief, thank you.
No, thank you very much.
Yep,
And didn't you come in,
they took it.
Took it.
The fire truck,
yeah, did he?
they came and took it.
Oh, they did, okay,
Come on.
She's gonna walk home
Yep.
after the meeting.
okay. All right, let's move on to cemetery. Do you have anything, Mr. Lowry?
I don't have anything.
Well, that's good.
Moving on.
Okay, road report.
All right, everybody, if the trustee has read over the road report, is there any questions you'd like to
Where's the snow?
ask? Right where it needs to be, nowhere here.
Well, we are getting rain,
Okay.
so as long as we get our
Where it's
water
at, it
table
can
up.
stay.
What is this Hatter call about Lucy Dead End? What's the,
What is his name?
I know who you're talking about there, but what was the call about?
He always wants us to try to plow a little farther. I mean, next thing will be down to his front door, but I told him, I says, we're not taking our truck off the blacktop.
Right.
We even extended the road down his driveway a little bit more when we did the blacktop and the chip and seal or the micro seal, so. We even went down there the one day and tried to plow down towards his car, and he got off, Brian got off, on the driveway off of the blacktop and almost got stuck. I says, we ain't doing that. We're not doing it anymore. He's gonna have to ask somebody to come if it's that bad, and I feel bad for him. His wife died here just about 6-8 months ago or something like that, 9 months ago. But
This toilet gave you guys the runaround.
Yeah, where's the?
we
Ordered
can
the
say that
parts.
in different
Parts didn't work.
terms.
Couldn't go potty. Ordered more parts. Parts didn't work.
Thank God for 5-gallon buckets.
That's right. Hey, I see here John Deere dealership to look at a G35.
They had one up there off of Portage there, where the old Freedom Harley Davidson used to be.
Yep.
They had one up there, so we met Aaron, who helped us get the backhoe fixed there right before that big storm back here before the first of the year. And looked at it.
You like it?
No.
Okay.
What was that mention? Was that a no or a yes?
No.
Okay.
And then I
I
see
wasn't looking.
went to Leplos for a new quote for E35.
Yes, I did. I do have that. I didn't figure we'd
That's fine.
talk about it right now.
You like the E35 better.
Wait,
Yeah.
let's go back to the toilet. Looks like we spent a lot of time on this toilet. It's very cheap to buy a new toilet.
I spent the time on it.
It's Brian spends the time on it.
Okay.
He's getting pretty good at it.
He's getting good at it.
What
It's
is,
just a lot of rust gets built up in the automatic flusher. We gotta clean it out.
yeah,
And we did order a part thinking it was that part, so we have an extra part, but it really wasn't no parts. It was just needing maintenance issues, cleaned very well.
you said you looked at the generator. Why? Was there something going on that made you go look or just?
It runs a cycle every Friday for an
Yes.
hour.
Yeah.
And Brian and Stu keep an eye on the lights, like it'll flip something and warn like something didn't work right or it didn't test right. They give me a call and then I look at it, write down the codes, and I call our Dolphin Enterprise, the guys that put it in. And then they'll either come out or they document it if there's a problem with it. What it most of the time it has to do with the natural gas. Like there's a pole on natural gas and the motor don't turn over, so it gives an error message. One of the codes mean that.
Okay.
It comes on, but
It comes on every Friday, and usually if everything's fine, it'll have a green light, but sometimes
Okay.
we'll notice that it has a red light or whatever, and we go and look at it. And we let Brian usually know, and
I did get a notice that Marlboro's having their open house.
on March
March
10th. Yep. That's another thing I wanted to let you guys know too. When we've been out traveling the roads, doing stuff, over on Argyle, right as you go past Baker on Argyle, there is a culvert, 4-foot culvert that goes underneath Argyle, and then there's like a 10-foot section that's in the ditch right there, because that's like a big opening there for parkers to go into that field. The catch basin is bad, the culvert is bad, the bottom's rotting out of it, totally out of it almost. And it's caving in around that old catch basin. It's gonna have to be replaced. And I already went and talked to Chuck and John, and they said, I asked them, I said, would you care if we got rid of the catch basin? Because their waterway comes right down to that opening from the field. And get rid of that catch basin and just put an elbow on there when we put the new culvert back in. And they said that'd be fine, and hook the other lines that are down in there right into that elbow. That way we don't have a catch basin or nothing to have to deal with there. I started checking on prices for that, but that's something we might need to do this summer. But you're probably gonna be just in the pipe, and depending on what angle elbow, you're looking somewhere around close to almost $5,000.
Yeah.
The elbows are expensive, like 1,800 and something for.
What's the catch basin? Maybe it's cheaper to put the catch
No.
basin back there.
No. We don't need a catch basin there.
I think they cost that much.
No.
Well, the elbow isn't 4,000 or 5,000. That's all the pipe.
4,000 or 5,000 was all the pipe
I
with
thought
the
you were saying
elbow.
the elbow was.
No.
I'm like,
No, I said the pipe and the elbow.
Okay.
Was somewhere around the 4,000 to 5,000.
how long is that ditch, that culvert?
Hmm?
How long is that culvert?
We need about 50 feet. 40 coming underneath and 10 right there in the ditch.
And what's that, a 36-inch then? Or?
4 foot,
Oh, it's a 4-foot.
4 foot.
It's a big one.
And I asked Mike when I was on the phone with them, and I think I asked him about, if I ordered that, like come March 10th at the spring deal, that we could get possibly, a discount on that, being we're buying it at that time. So that's just something I just want to kind of let you guys know
Can
that
get the
right.
discount?
Huh?
You can?
I thought he said we could.
Yeah, that could be $400 or $500.
They usually give a little bit off, so every little bit
10%.
helps if they're willing to do that.
Is it 10%?
I don't know. I'd
They
like to
didn't
find
print
out.
it on their notice. It didn't say.
Trustees, just to let you know, permanent appropriations, I'll be preparing that for March 1st. So right now, we're working on temporary appropriation, which a lot of the funds aren't ready, but I do have money for like the mini hoe. I had 40,000 set aside for that to go towards that. But I don't have
Nice
all the
guy.
big chunks of money set in place yet.
All right, so
Anything after March 1st, you're gonna succeed it. And then, when you ask me, hey, Brian, we got enough money, or what, I'll either say yes.
so we don't know on this yet.
Right now, I don't know. I was just looking at it. I do have it pulled up here where I can scroll through and look at what we have temporary appropriated. But I don't have the funds in there because they have to wait till the real estate money comes in.
Yeah.
So,
We're okay to wait to spring on this, right?
We are,
Oh,
but
yeah.
we won't. We'll meet again on the 27th, but we won't meet again before they go on March 10th
Yeah.
to the open house.
Got it. Okay.
I'm just
That's
saying,
it.
I can double check with them and
Well,
check
let's-
on all this stuff and get,
Ask them what, how long will you be, Brian?
just right around March 1st, I'll have this stuff ready.
You'll be able to figure out if
Yeah.
we can.
But I mean, we've done this before where
Well, if
you just
you're-
kind
I
of
mean,
said,
Yeah, if you're
to
ready
You
on
don't
the
have to
first, we
pay.
can email each other, call each other.
You're not gonna have to pay for it that day.
No.
No.
you don't pay for it.
they're
but
gonna
if
have
you
to
were
order. They're gonna have to order.
If you're gonna appropriate, like say, you wanted to pass something up to a certain amount, I can't tell you exactly that right now. but I would be able to after March 1st.
I can call tomorrow and check on all that stuff.
And we can talk
If
about
we could
more
order it
on the
now,
27th.
Yeah, let's start-
get it later.
You might as well find out
Get
what
the
it
numbers.
is and get the discount and what it all is gonna.
If they will do the discount. I
Yeah.
thought he said they would, but we'll double check
If they
and make
won't do
sure.
the discount.
At
it
next
won't
meeting, bring sure you're bringing all your info. Okay.
Hey, Stu, just curious, not that I'm just curious. It looks like 201 had a fender that needed repair.
Back years ago, I think it was during the ice storm. And
Which one's 201?
they come up the road and there was a
Right.
limb hanging out and it caught the fender and took a big chunk out of it.
So it's
Busted it.
the
Yeah.
big truck.
So it's the big truck,
Got it.
and we checked on a price for a new one, and you guys said back here about a year or so ago
Yeah.
that we could go ahead and try to, get another one to replace it, because that's the truck we want to keep.
Did you get it red?
Well, we ended up checking at,
It'll-
I think,
Big-
Alliance Motor, and a brand new one was like $800-900.
Okay.
And we stopped at Edelman's last week, and here they had a red truck there with one
No
on that
way.
passenger side for
Great.
$100.
Great. Oh, that's the deal.
And we grabbed it. I called Randy
Great.
and I said, we need to grab this
Did
thing.
you,
Didn't
you
have-
already, looks like you
Didn't
already
have a
installed it?
crack on it or nothing.
Good.
Already got it on the truck, looks great.
That's a good savings there.
Yeah,
Great.
big saving.
Okay. Good. I'm glad to hear that story.
And one of the other things I did want to mention, we were out today double checking everything again about signs. We have more than 12, but I need to buy 12 new, the blank signs in the solid green. And we put the letters on, for whatever name it is. And the 12 in different sizes because of the words, whether they're longer or shorter. I called Columbiana and talked to Gene today, and to get the 12 that I need, that came to around $255.18. And then I need roughly about 12 new posts, 8 or 9 footers, which would be around $241.92. So you're looking right around probably $500 or a little over $500 with the shipping and everything.
But that's
Because
something
I
you
gotta
don't
get
need
this-
right now, right?
What?
You don't need them right now.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have them right now, but I know Brian,
Right.
depending on money and everything,
You're okay in the road department.
Do that.
Okay.
You got 4 road funds.
because that's something we could be doing right
You
now.
can
all
be
this
doing
mild
that
weather.
on a mild day.
Oh, I know, we could be putting these things on.
Trustee Drew.
Putting them up and
Buy road sign, blank road signs and posts not to exceed $500.
No.
6.
Better put 6.
6.
Because you got to ship it.
You gotta ship it. Oh.
Trustee Varian, second.
Unless that works out. Sometimes they'll bring it
All in
up here.
favor?
Aye.
I'll check with her.
Try and get it
tomorrow.
on a bulk load.
And then last thing is, when you come to the meeting on the 27th, if you can kind of have an idea of what we need to buy for like the culverts and stuff for the summer, just
I
a
will.
rough estimate.
Yeah,
Okay.
I usually try to get around close to 10 or 12 sticks of the 12-inch, because that's and
Right.
everything was used up last year, every drop.
Yeah.
Out here. We didn't have nothing left, so
Okay.
I usually like to try to get about 12 sticks of the 12-inch.
Yeah.
And
And then if we're gonna get a discount, then we'll maybe get them, but if not, we might wait. We'll see what's going on.
right, okay.
All right, anything else on the road? Perfect. All right, let's move on to zoning.
Since the last meeting, there's been 3 certificates. The first one, Verizon was replacing a generator. They already had one there already. They're just taking it out, put one new. So there was no fee because they didn't change the footprint. The second one on there was the variance meeting, which they had the meeting for last Monday for Lawson over on Indian Run, and that was denied. So nobody's permitted to live in the camper. And the third one is the new garage over on 15th Street.
How was the attendance on the loss again?
Surprisingly, there was only 2 people in attendance besides Mr. Lawson. I was
just heard that it
expecting
was-
several more to come,
They were
but
talking about a lot on social media, I heard. I didn't see them. I just wondered.
I assume neighbors. Okay.
Over on the nuisance side, first thing they're not listed is 8591 Lisbon. It was on there last week at Belfort in Lisbon, and there wasn't much I can do. I got a phone call about it again today, so I just want to let you know. There is 3 vehicles parked up by the wood line about 450 feet away from the road. I can't see anything wrong with it. They're just parked up by the wood line, so I don't see any missing tires or damage to them. 2 derby cars are parked by the garage. They're covered with a tarp, so you can't really see them. There is a bus there, but since it's rural residential zoned and it looks to be in decent condition, I can't really do anything about that. And there are vehicles that come and go in the driveway. They all move, so there's nothing I can really do about those.
The cars that are up on the tree line, is it under your understanding that the owner of the house has that entire parcel? So that tree line, that's on his property?
Mhm.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over on Indian Run, Lawson property, they had that hearing, it was denied. Supposedly, they're moving into the house, or the one in the camper's moving out. Story was kind of changing throughout the meeting, so.
Was it the same person that was here,
Um,
that was living in the camper in the summer?
I'm not sure. The only person that came from the property was Mr. Lawson. I know supposedly the person living in the garage is different than the one that was here at the meeting.
I don't know how anyone can live in the garage. I thought it was a dirt floor in there.
I guess,
They're all
I
living in
guess
the
there's a little
house?
piece of concrete.
They're all moving in the house
I
now?
went past there today, this morning when we were running the roads, and there was 2 young guys, 20s, 30s, standing out there this morning early, just outside the house.
Yeah. At the meeting, they did mention it looked a little bit better than it has with the trash and stuff, but there's still trash and stuff around the camper and everything.
It gets cleaned up and then all of a sudden it's a mess again.
Mhm.
Over here on Ravenna, that building without the permit, I did talk to the mom of the owner, and they are going to come in. They just need to get some fees, some money for the fees to be able to pay it.
So how does that work out with the property owner? Is it off of their property? It's just in violation of the setbacks?
It looks like, I can't tell for sure. It looks close to the line, but from what they said, it's about 20 feet from the line. I know they said the auditor was out, so I'm going to check with the auditor's office and see if they were, and see, because they should be able to tell where property lines are.
It is, and those arrows on the auditor's site are really pretty accurate. They are maybe within 5 feet of the
And
line.
I would wonder, because even an auditor coming out, that's not a survey. Like,
Right.
the
But it
auditor's
would have
not a
to be-
survey.
Mhm.
You know,
It
a
would
survey is
have to
gonna
be-
give you your lines, that's not.
It'd have to be the adjacent property owner.
There's no way that garage is 20 feet off of the other property.
But
So
if the adjacent property owner is not objecting,
Mhm.
is that the case?
I haven't heard anything from the
Mhm.
property owner beside them.
Okay. Well, I guess the issue is, are we looking for a variance because they violated the setbacks?
Yeah.
Or are they looking for just a permit for building?
Mhm.
So 2
Yeah.
different things there, so we
Right.
really need to know if it was a violation of the setbacks or not.
Right.
So that would be a good question for the auditor.
I got somebody from the auditor's office who usually contacts me, so that's who I'll reach out to.
Great.
Um, And then over on Oakfield Street, which is that vacant house there, I sent them a letter just saying, hey, see what's going on with this property. Since from my understanding, it recently became vacant. And from the looks of it, there's brush and stuff built up from the past several years. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, if you look on that map there, the building is into the tree line. where it is now. Because they
The
did,
garage that was built, you're saying? Okay.
Mhm.
they did cut into some of the trees and cleared
Where's
them
it
out.
at? Put your finger on it, Stu.
What's that?
The new building.
The
The new building is right in here.
Oh, it's not on there.
It's right out, comes out here almost even with the end of this garage, at the
Yeah.
front face of it,
The front
where he's bringing his arrow out.
Wow.
Right there.
There's not much room there. How big's the building?
No, it's
It's a pretty sizable
25 by
I was gonna
40.
say, you're gonna have to sneak between the two buildings.
25 or
Right
30 by
across from each
40.
other.
And this building is like sitting in a way that, you know, for the size of what this is, your square footage, and I know your allowance, you know, you should have had a variance right off the top, just on your size of it.
The garage actually sits like this, Cliff, where
Hey,
it
Roger.
comes out here, they can't hardly come up the drive to get over here to get into the garage.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I'm just sitting here all the
Oops.
time thinking, how's that affect our fire services and EMS if they had to go to that property?
Where is this on 44, you guys?
When you're coming up from down here's Orchard View,
Yeah.
you come up over the hill,
Okay.
starting up over the hill.
Orchard View.
Yep, I know. I got you now. Yep, okay.
This actually, this road right
It's
away.
coming up the hill. Oh, I know where you're talking about. That drive, yeah. The front yard of that house, there's a hill down to the road.
Yep, it's
Yep.
sloped down.
Yep.
And is that an A-frame in the woods? Is that the A-frame?
No, it's
That's
not really an
pretty-
A-frame.
It's like it was a flat
That's
top.
up.
Flat
Oh,
top,
okay,
That's
okay,
tapered
okay.
flat
That's
top.
up from Scott's.
Belknaps are across.
What's
the
that?
street.
That's just north of Scott's, Zimmerman's.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
stuff here.
Scott's is to the.
Yeah,
there you
This
go.
was the whole farm, but Ernie, his dad, owns this
Yeah,
now.
they bought
Yeah, I
that.
know.
And there's a road, there's a right of way there for Ernie now, since it ain't the farms. It
So
comes in
I
past
wondered why
between
they,
that End house and Donnie Shears Woods.
I see why they built it where they did, because there's not a lot of flat ground on that parcel. They probably picked
No,
the
not
flattest
really.
ground and built it.
But they had a good ways back here to where the property line. is.
The other one is.
But I don't know where the septic system and stuff back here is.
So the neighbor hasn't complained at this point.
Not yet.
We just saw it being built without a permit.
I would
The other
make sure
garage
they-
is tied to the house,
Yeah, the
right?
field first.
Yeah.
Yeah, this garage, Randy, is attached and there's like a breezeway between it going into the house.
Mhm.
But this is a garage.
But it's attached by a breezeway, so
Yeah.
they aren't talking about tearing that down or anything, are they?
When I drove by, it looked like there might be plywood in the windows of those, at that garage.
Oh, so that little garage may be coming down once the big garage is built.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, if it's that close, you gotta think, man, gotta jockey back and forth getting your own
Or
garage.
maybe they want to turn the garage into part of the home.
Well, you just need to have an honest conversation with them and
Yeah.
say, there's multiple things that you violated here.
Right.
First, you did it without a building permit, but the building permit is just the key thing that tells us that you're far enough off the property lines that you're not covering up your septic and everything else. And you skipped all those points. So at this point,
If you were,
I believe it
if
told
you were
me-
to-
Is it 8 feet or 10 feet setback?
Mary,
10 feet
10
off
10 feet?
or 8 feet off the rear and side property line.
didn't they determine the Stark County that the septic was running leach lines out the back and
8
over in
feet
this
is very well.
direction?
I believe
You-
so.
they- It's not very.
I have to pull it up on the Stark County website again, but
but they also
they
have
did
a
have
reserve
it
section
inspected.
for repair that they set aside now. Where's that reserve section?
Hmm?
I have to look it up again.
I don't know what you breathe.
well, I would say too, we're obviously a smaller township, a smaller zoning department, but this happens in Jackson Township, they force you to tear the thing down. It's gonna happen. Seen it before and we'll see it again. You don't follow setbacks, you tear it back down. You know,
Right.
I mean, you know, obviously, we're a little different
Well,
scenario,
it
but
happened up
he's
at the
definitely in
corner
that.
of
Setback.
Orchard View and Indian Run, up
Okay.
in there. And the
Where-
guy actually built the building, it was like a foot or two across the property line.
It isn't even a full acre of property too, and I think your square footage on your house and the garage wouldn't even allow you to build
build something
something
that
unless
big.
you
The
ask
house
for a
isn't big
variance.
enough for the garage. Unless you're agricultural. And you're probably not gonna pull that off with one
I
acre
don't
lot.
think that's agricultural there.
Not for the
Not for
size.
that.
Not the,
Not that size of land,
uh-uh.
yeah.
So you might want to reach out to the prosecutor and just get a little more information, if you tell him all the things that are wrong here, so that we're moving forward in a legal matter. I don't want to give them misinformation. I don't want to do something that would make us at risk for something. Because whether the other property doesn't care or not, and that's fine, but in the future, which is what happened to the one at the corner of Indian Road and Orchard View, when the property sells, now it's a problem. It got
Right.
surveyed and the building's sitting across the line.
Mhm.
And then they come here and want us to do something. Well, we can't do anything. It has to go to civil court.
Mhm.
But
Be nice to have a new picture of it.
the safety factor of our EMS being able to have access is an issue. Well, for me, I thought, that could be an issue.
Let me see. if
Well,
I-
we gotta find out.
Hey, Brian,
whether
just,
or not
just for
it's
fun on there,
Illegal.
Brian,
That's
Yeah.
first.
do you have an address for that
What
property?
is our legal
Yeah.
responsibility to do then? So we need to know.
If you
Because there's a lot
go
of
to, if you go to
different things
Street
wrong with
View,
Yeah, I was gonna do this Google map one.
I mean, they easily could have built a smaller building and it would have fit.
Well, we don't know yet.
If you do Street View, it should give you
I
this-
agree with you, but I mean, it could be legal till we find out.
yeah, yeah, the 8 feet, you know, like Randy said, 8 feet's
8 feet's not very wide.
not that wide.
Mm-mm.
They
I mean,
might be
just
8
one of the
feet.
Tables, those are.
Yeah. Especially with that tree line, there could be a couple trees there and they're set back from their property line. I don't know. I was gonna say a
As
street
soon as I
view.
seen them posts go up.
A
I
street
thought,
view,
oh
you
my
get it.
Gosh, that's almost on the property line.
Do we have sizes, like if your house is this size, your building can't be within? I thought we had some of that in
In
there.
the
Percentage.
book, it says any like accessory building can't be more than 30% of the required rear yard. Is how it's worded in the book.
Rear yard.
So you would just probably,
There's your street view. Yeah, flip that around. Can you spin it? Should be able to turn it.
Oh, yeah, there's so many you can turn on.
Go up to the top right corner. You click down a little bit, and click that arrow to the right. Go up to the next one above it. Go
Up here,
Yep, click that way. What more? Yeah, right there. Click that. There you go. Keep clicking. Keep clicking. There you go.
and there it is.
There it is.
It's already on there.
There it is.
Now, but like you said, Randy, there might be plenty of room between that property line.
That doesn't, to me, from there, it doesn't look so bad, but like I
because it
said,
has a front entrance.
Yeah, that house is a flat top. You're right. I said an A-frame, completely opposite of what I said. Yeah, there it is. Boy, it does look really close to the house. Garage.
It is clear out here,
Look how
even with
close
the
it looks to
front
the
of
house
the,
garage. It's clear out in front of the doors?
you couldn't take a big pickup truck and try to go in between there already to get turned in that old garage.
So maybe just go into the percentages.
And from what I remember, I thought the tree line right there was between Rikers and Rudy's, or, was it Rudy, Brian? Yeah,
Oh, it used to be.
when it used to be his house.
But the pin,
You-
the pin,
amazing.
when you look at
Amazing.
the auditor's map, the pin is right in here.
Where,
Yeah.
they go back out to the
Yeah.
road,
You can
telephone
make out
poles
the truck,
usually right on the
license
property
plate of
line.
that truck,
Yeah.
you know?
Go back out to the
North.
road,
yeah, it's-
right?
I
It's not-
never heard that.
Yeah.
There's a telephone pole anywhere here, right there.
Yeah, there it is.
But it's-
Usually that telephone pole is at a property line,
everything's on an angle
but
too.
it's hard to say. Yeah.
Well, that was a tree, that wasn't a telephone pole.
Yeah, this
Yes,
picture
it
doesn't
was,
look,
right
this
there.
picture doesn't look like it's sitting on the
That's a
neighborhood.
telephone pole.
But this telephone pole, I think is feeding that house, but I'm not sure. Because there isn't one down the road there unless it's going to the other one. Let me look. If it shows you, there's a
Well,
telephone.
this
pole here.
picture has metal on the side of this thing. Last time I drove by, it was still in paper. So this is.
What?
This,
That whole garage is done on the outside.
yeah, it's done.
Minus the
This is a
garage door and
fairly
cement
new,
floor.
that's a
Yeah.
fairly new image. Because that's not, I mean, the metal has
No,
not.
it's not that new because if you could see the really new image of it,
Yeah.
they got the whole front yard tore up clear up to the front door. They've been
Well, it
driving,
says-
they aren't even
it
using their
says July
driveway.
2022.
Okay.
That building, and right there's that picture saying.
They're
down
going
the
up
bottom
across
right
through
there.
here and here, clear up to the front door,
Yeah,
driving, it's the whole front yard. is mowed.
Okay.
So,
So just check out to see what we're legal for, what we're responsible for, and what's violated and what do we have to do about it.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, Old Indian Run Church, I sent Brian a couple pictures, just kind of show you how it looks today.
Can you bring up the after this?
I will say the gentleman that owns that does not live there. It's all rent
It's rental, is it really?
Yeah.
of multiple families.
this is the stuff I was talking about, wanting to just clean up so it doesn't look bad
Well, the
over
property,
towards Brian's
the
parents where
property-
you go in that
the
first
property line is actually,
I know.
this is all on the,
on that.
that right there.
Oh, is it jog?
When it goes
Yeah.
Just
back,
hate seeing it look like.
it gets
Yeah.
back here and then it cuts back.
It
behind
jogs
it.
back.
Yeah.
Someone was telling me the very back corner of the building and the cemetery are very close. Is that right?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
Like
within
it's-
4 or 5 feet of the
Yeah.
foot of that house.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
I mean, that tree is on them, but it hangs way out over on us.
right. I guess I didn't realize it was a rental. I mean, I knew multiple families lived in it, but you'd figure one family said, oh, come, you know,
No,
come
it's a
on, come
rental.
on. Okay.
There, that pile of trash there against the church has been piled up there
Oh, yeah.
since probably about November,
It's
December.
like gas can.
Is it still bad
Hey.
across the front door too?
Hey, there's a
It's
shop
not.
vac laying right there.
Hey,
Just
really?
turn it on.
But there's a pile of tires and stuff behind the pool there. You
Oh,
can't
that's a
really see it.
pool. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, over here.
That's a pool behind the red car.
You need to get out, get a wide angle lens on that.
You take a cannonball in that pool, you take a picture.
You need a drone.
All right.
Walk back over there into Variance Field, take a
Right.
wide shot.
That's just the cars.
Or I
in
mean
the parking
Bones,
lot.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's the rest of it.
Hey, look at that. Is that a,
That's a Corvette. It's an 80s model. It's not real sought after. Get them pretty
You
cheap.
get that pretty cheap right now.
Get them
hey,
pretty
I
cheap.
don't have
yeah.
plates on it.
No plates on it.
Don't have to have plates.
They're
Oh,
fixing it.
anything about last one.
Yeah, it doesn't have, it has to have, it can't have 4
I
tires
think,
and.
I think there's a
engine.
tree starting to grow up in that one.
It is, and that one's still legit.
So has the owner of the property ever responded to anything?
No, I
No. Okay.
sent certified and regular, whenever I send the certified letters, I also send a regular letter. Cause I fear they probably won't get the
Well,
certified.
and we've never addressed the issue. It is not a commercial property.
Mhm.
It's residential area. And it was the nonprofit church's grandfathered in, but it's an individual owned now. They really shouldn't be. It's not a we don't have zoning for multi.
How many electric meters are there?
But here's what I want to
I
ask.
still-
That certified letter she sends,
How you gonna?
it didn't really have to go to the landowner that owns the property, not them, so they aren't gonna open that.
Mhm.
Because they know they don't have to really,
It didn't go to them. It went to
It
the
should go to
land.
landowner, partial owner.
Does the landowner live in our township?
No,
Not anymore. I don't.
Why don't we just post it and clean it up and put it on their taxes?
We have sent enough letters where we can do that.
That'll get their attention right now.
I know
which that gets sent right to that owner,
Yeah.
well,
right?
you would have
Bill.
to check with
Put
the
on their
prosecutor because
Because it's rentals, it's rental property. All this junk is rental property.
the people that own the property
That's
have no clue. We can't just point and take their property.
That's exactly right.
So,
Yeah, but you gotta put a sign up.
Mhm.
Y'all
Yeah,
know when that sign goes up.
yeah.
yeah. You could post a sign and say,
But
we're-
even, because we've never had the problem where it was a rental before, just clarify with the prosecutor, because it's a rental, are we still okay to post and then go in and start doing that?
yeah.
Let me know,
Because-
Mary, if you wanna go put the sign up, I'll go with you.
I don't know unless how you're gonna prove multiple families. But
Yeah, it probably still has 1 meter, it probably still has 1 water source. They
That's, I
probably
mean,
they probably didn't re-meter
That,
it.
that,
does.
that really isn't our problem.
Yeah.
Other than you don't want, I understand where you're going, you don't
We
want
don't
somebody.
have multifamily housing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we don't allow people to build or remodel into that. We can't.
Well, it was remodeled into that.
You've got proof?
Well, the
Walk inside it.
hard thing is that depending on who lives there, they could say we're all friends and we all live together.
Yeah, they could do that,
They could,
but they're not the owners of it,
right. But I think you have to be careful because you're right. You could
which is
post,
why we haven't done it.
you could post and clean, but the renters might come back and say, whoa, whoa, whoa. The owner of the property is the owner of the property. This is our stuff. And the owner of the property let us live this way. So I think like you said, once you post and say to both the owner and the renters, hey, we got to clean this up for the betterment of our township. We're going to come start putting
Well,
stuff
the
in dumpsters.
prosecutor will know.
Then, yeah, the prosecutor will know how to be able to handle that. You're right.
Yeah, because it's a rental. We just have to.
I know the last certified letter I got back probably about last week they didn't get it, but they did get the regular if they got their mail.
Yeah.
So they didn't sign for the certified.
No.
And you have the receipt on the other one, right?
Mhm.
So make sure you give the prosecutor all that information, because this is gonna be before we can go in there.
Okay.
And then we can use one of those services. to
Yeah.
Go in there.
Yeah.
Clean it up.
But I'm not sure with all those vehicles. Because some of them look very inoperable. Like, I wonder if that Corvette really even had a motor in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you look, there's four things: tires, motor, I forget what they are. Okay,
The only time I see people out there is if they're working on the cars, so I don't know what's going on with that part.
Well, even if you got the trash out, it would be a good start.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Did you see any big dogs around there anymore?
No, from what I was told, the dogs got taken away from biting a neighbor,
Oh,
is my
Yes.
understanding.
I talked to John Haynes today, and he said several of those dogs are gone. And there's only like one around there or two at the most. But the original ones, I don't think are around there, that especially the one that bit somebody. Yeah, I just haven't talked to him today. He told us that. So, because I was telling him what a problem that was for us there in the cemetery and people coming there for burials and dogs out running loose,
Right.
Mhm.
dog feces all over the place.
so, well, go ahead with your,
Commission will be meeting next Monday for the regular meeting. Board of Zoning Appeals, last Monday, one of the variances over on Lincoln, they asked to push it back because they had some issues with the contractor. And they didn't feel comfortable moving forward with it until that kind of got sorted out.
What are they asking for on Lincoln?
To replace the garage and put in like a little living space above it.
Oh, okay.
The garage they have now is falling apart, so they want to make it a little bit bigger for their cars.
Gotcha.
so I will note that zoning meeting is President's Day, but they all know that and they were fine with it, so.
Oh, okay.
And then as far as the shipping containers on Broadway, she decided to cancel it, so that's been cleared off and taken care of.
Okay.
So,
And did you happen to check in the minutes to see if we did that?
I did not see it in the minutes.
Okay, so I don't think we had approved the new BZA board yet, because we was waiting to confirm the renewal. And the renewal would have been Randy Reed, who's deceased. So we don't have a renewal. So we need to make a motion and approve that board as it has been, which, can you give all the names of that board? BZA? It's Jeremy Avery.
BCA, Jeremy Avery, Chris Griffith, Rick Wakeham, Karen Clapper is your four members at the moment.
So we're short one member there with Randy's passing. So can we have a motion for that?
Trustee Piro moves to accept the board as what we have right now, the 4 members.
Trustee Varian, second.
All in favor?
Just
That was just approving
a
the
point of
membership
clarification
of that
on
board.
Broadway.
Mhm.
She's decided to not go forward at all with the project.
And again, we are still looking for members for both the commission and the BCA.
Okay.
Anything else on zoning, Mary?
That's all I have.
Thank you.
One other thing we were gonna do is that fee schedule. So So maybe by next meeting, we'll have that fee schedule for
I
you.
was looking for anywhere else that had overlays and if they had any fees for that. I did not find anything yet. That's all I found for right now.
All right, Old Township business, I see none. So we're gonna move on to new township business. And let me run through mine quick before Brian gets to his. The first one here, and I think you might have it in your packet right here, Randy, it's the Health Department annual meeting, and I believe you're the person going there. It is March 2nd. That's the annual meeting. And I think it's at the Health Department.
Is the time on here?
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
I'm gonna put it in right now.
And then I wanted to move to the Stark County Regional Planning Annual Dinner. And they take attendance there. They actually have us stand up each township representatives. So I want to be able to give this to Brian by the 27th to send in the reservations for who wants to attend.
I've had all that all filled out to send in, and I have a work thing I cannot go.
I was planning on going.
It's at Perry Culinary Arts, right?
Arrowhead Golf Club.
No? On the 16th, you talking?
15th, ain't it?
Arrowhead Golf.
Wednesday.
What do I have as, what's the SCTA meeting?
That's just the monthly county meeting.
Oh, that's on the 16th. I'm sorry then.
You
So
said
when's
it's
this?
this Thursday?
The Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. I have the wrong thing in here then, I'm sorry.
Wednesday, the 15th.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be going too. Do I need to fill one out or you're?
No, we can all go on one, Brian. There's enough space to put everybody on one. So,
So we're talking 2 days from now.
no, it's March 15th.
Oh,
March 15th. We just have to get our
There it is.
reservation back in.
It's on there. I'm in for that.
What time's that start?
That starts at 6 p.m. and it's $35 a person. Arrowhead Golf and Event Center.
So Cliff's gonna go, I'm gonna go, and Randy, are you going to that?
Yeah,
So all three of us are gonna go, Brian. I'm gonna give you that form back then.
The three of you, what are you eating, steak, scrod, or chicken?
steak.
Probably just steak. What about you, Cliff?
Put me down for the check-in.
That'd be different.
I know. Since we're talking about this, I just went to a regional planning committee last week. Nothing to really report. There was one little piece of property that was changed to a commercial in Canton local, which was really close to us in Osnaburg. It's trumping, right kind of behind the speedway there. A trucking company wants to come in and they did approve that. There was one denial of a spot zoning they denied in Perry Township, but the closest thing to us was that commercial change in Canton local, but didn't affect Osnaburg. So, thanks.
Okay,
What do we do? So the township's paying for us?
yeah,
So if we bring somebody else, you pay for them?
yeah, you give the name to Brian and a
$35.
check that he can send with our check.
All right. You don't want cash.
No, you don't want cash, do you?
If I do this, if I send it to them, I wouldn't want to send cash, but if you guys. Last time, hey Randy, last time we did this, I just cut a check and one of you took it.
I dropped it off. I
Yeah,
took
one
it
of you
up.
took it with you. You could always.
I didn't
give
take
them
it
the cash.
there. I took it up to the regional planning office
You
because it
could
has a
take-
deadline.
You could take and give them cash.
You don't want cash for the slush fund? I knew that'd get you.
Okay, and we just need to make sure Brian has everything by next meeting. Okay, all right, we're gonna go on to approval to pay the $7.99 for
This is our attorney that draw up our ballot language, all the documents, the legal fees that guided me to prepare all the documents for you all to sign.
I'll make a motion to approve payment of $7.99 to, I don't even know what the first, Dublicker, Baker.
It's Baker, Dumblegard,
Oh,
and then there's Matthews. There's about 4 names. I didn't write them all.
Trustee
in.
Pierce, second.
all in favor?
All right.
All right, go to the next one. Approval to pay $540 to Zorn Heating for the cooling services at the township.
Trustee Pierce moves to pay Zorn Heating and Cooling $540 for the township hall.
Trustee Varian second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Did I give that one?
No, we didn't do that.
I think we might have. Look here. Yeah, right there.
Okay. Request to tax advance of taxes collected by the Stark County Auditor's Office.
Yeah, every year, this is, last year, I'll read the motion. It said to approve the request for advance of tax collected by the Stark County auditors, which allows them to distribute the funds as they receive it. So those funds come to the township throughout the year. And it's just a formal resolution. This is last year's resolution to do that. So as quick as they get the money, we get it to our township.
So I'll make a motion to approve the request for advancement of taxes collected to the Stark County Auditor's Office, which allows them to distribute the funds as they receive them and to distribute these funds to the township throughout the 2023 year.
Trustee Pierce, second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. And we have a request here to post interfund advances of $20,000 from the general fund to the fire fund. I'll make a motion to approve that.
Trustee Varian second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Again, another request to post interfund advances for $10,000 from the general fund to the fire fund.
Trustee Varian second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, we got executive session.
And a quick briefing, what happened at OTA.
Oh, yeah.
The bad thing happened and I ended up getting pneumonia down there and had to come home.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, which you can hear, I'm still coughing some, but I was down there. I went back and forth a few times is what I did, which I ended up Friday coming and getting home, going to the doctor and
Oh,
So,
geez.
but anyway, I did get some good things down there. And that one that was this time, why they had it, I don't know, but they had several different vendors there on park and playground equipment.
Oh.
And so I have a bunch of things that I'll bring us when we're ready to look at that. But I did find one that I really liked, which they're more expensive, but they design and they'll design it out in multiple year phases for us.
Cool.
Because we don't have the money to put everything we want all at once,
Right.
is what I was saying. But it's material made of stuff that will last for a minimum 25 years. Some of the other stuff, the plastic coated, within 15 years, that plastic's cracking. And they also had Ninja Warrior courses and stuff with their
Oh, cool.
stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought it looked really good.
Yeah.
I like the 25-year lifespan on it. And they customize it and they'll make it whatever we want it
I
to
think
be.
that's cool that they can build a section and then build it so that you can add. Build it so that you can add.
So they'll
That's great.
design out the whole thing
Right.
and then we'll
chunk
make
it
it
up.
in phases.
Yep. That's
And
neat.
the engineered design, we don't have to pay for that. They'll come and do it and present it. And then if we'll go for, I'm sure if we go forward with them, they're gonna charge us for it, but
Right.
You'll probably pay somewhere along the line for that.
yeah, we'll pay for it somewhere
Right,
along the
yeah.
line. But they were very friendly and very easy to work with. And the stuff they had there, we could see it and step on it and do different things. It looked really high quality. And that's because there was another vendor there that I went and saw, same type of stuff, but their stuff wasn't of the same quality.
Okay.
So I'm thinking we're better off to put something in that's gonna last 25 years then. So even their chains and ropes were
Right.
all coated with some stuff where, like the tables they're like a metal with a coating on it, so that we're not dealing with wood rotting and all that kind of, it was just really good. So it means maybe we take a longer period of time and put in fewer pieces at a time, but
Right.
I don't know. So,
Good.
I thought that was interesting, and it kind of fit more the theme we talked about in
Right.
general.
Well, I think too, in the world of playground, and we have to kind of mess with this with the preschool, but you know, it used to just be all big, bright colors because that's kind of what kids would want to play on. And now they're making lots of browns, greens, and a natural theme.
It is,
It's
and
still-
sensory items.
And it looks good in your space, especially for something like that that's out in the country. Like, it's not going to be this big gaudy playground. Like, you can make it look very
Yeah.
appropriate for the backdrop. You know, it's
Yes.
kind of neat.
Yeah, it was, I really liked the
Yeah.
one vendor,
Yeah.
which is very much in line with what we're talking about. So I have lots of stuff from them, and I'll bring in when we get closer, because what I said to them, our first step is really to finish with environmentalists and get a parking lot put in wherever we design that to be. So, or get our survey done. So did we order that survey yet? Did we ask the bank to do that survey, or do we have to do it now?
We need to do the survey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we
we have
need
to
to set
line
the
it up
survey up.
and then he'll just,
He'll pay for
He'll
it,
pay
but we
the
have
bill.
we have to.
Okay, so maybe I need to get an estimate for a survey from a couple places.
We need to line the survey up.
is there any surveyors that live in the township?
I don't know, do you know?
I don't think.
We used to have one, but I don't think they're surveying anymore. The one died. You know what I'm talking about? Who lived out there,
Oldham?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I
What
know
was
he
it,
died.
Tom? I think he passed away.
I can talk to
No, somebody that worked for.
Doug
the
Milano, he can
survey.
give me an idea of something.
Oh, yeah, Doug could, yeah.
Yeah, so let me do
Yeah.
that. and get-
Brother surveys.
What's that?
His brother does it.
Oh, does he?
Oh,
Okay.
okay. It'd be nice to use him.
So why don't I go ahead and forward with that and see what I can find out a name and cost for a survey for us.
That'd be great.
So that we can get something moving forward.
Yep, that's good.
Trustees, when I was down there, I got all my training in for fiscal officer, and also for the auditors, Fiscal Integrity Act. So I was able to complete all that. I've got some interesting information I wanted to share. There's a Ohio road funding. One of the classes I took, and I think all of you know that, we got 3 or 4 road funds with gas tax. They're predicting gas tax, even though it was increased here a couple of years back, that because of all the fuel efficient vehicles out, the electric push on electric vehicles, that they're going to slowly lose fuel tax money. So they're looking at having the public help with the new structure they're wanting to introduce. So they formed one of the classes I took. They got this video. They want the public to be involved. And they said, will you show this to your trustees, this 2-minute video? And I don't, let me just see here if I can do it.
Things in Ohio, one that frequently gets overlooked is the transportation system. Our highways and roads carry people, goods, and all kinds of important stuff. Our roads connect us to the things we need and the things we enjoy. The truth is, we don't really notice it until there's something wrong. And it takes a lot of hard work and money to keep roads in good shape. Did you know that most of the funding for Ohio's roads and bridges comes from the gas tax? In Ohio, it's 38.5 cents per gallon of gas and 47 cents per gallon of diesel that everyone pays when they fill up. Like the roadways, you may not notice it until there's a problem. And there's a problem. As Ohioans drive more fuel-efficient electric and hybrid vehicles, people are purchasing less gas. That's great for our environment, but it means less money to keep our roads and bridges in good repair. Ohio is currently conducting a study to find a new way to fund the maintenance of our roads and bridges so that it is sustainable and fair. The study is looking at several funding options to stabilize current transportation revenues. One option includes raising the gas tax, which Ohio recently did in 2019. This increase might give us a temporary bump, but as more gas-powered vehicles are replaced, the downward trend in the gas tax revenue remains. Plus, raising the gas tax would make those who can't afford newer vehicles pay a bigger part of our transportation costs. Another possible funding option includes raising registration fees for all vehicles. In Ohio, hybrid and electric vehicles already pay additional registration fees since they pay little or no gas tax. Or another option Ohio and other states are exploring is a mileage-based user fee, which charges drivers based on the number of miles they drive instead of how much they consume. This approach ensures everyone pays their fair share for highway and road maintenance, regardless of what type of vehicle you drive or the fuel it uses. This could eventually replace the gas tax and additional registration fees on EVs and hybrids. Just like you pay for other utility bills, you pay for how much you use. Ohio wants to know what you think about alternatives to the current system of funding road and bridge maintenance. To learn more and to provide your input, visit ohioroadfunding.com and fill out the survey.
That was the big push, part of that class I was in, is they want us to post that on our website so the public would get it, because they want the public to be involved with that. So somebody can say, why are you guys doing that now? Well, the idea is to get as many people's input before they even attempt to do anything. So that was
Says
just,
take survey. Can we post a link?
yeah, that's what it is. They gave me all the link information. I put it right on the website.
Great.
And then if somebody asks, some people might not realize that our roads, like 70% of the money to fix roads is gas tax. And just things like that. But that was one of the classes. That one was really interesting. And then the other class that I always like seeing is, it's packed so full you can't get in there. It says, where the trustees' responsibilities end and the fiscal officer begins. Those kind of classes, those are real interesting.
They're standing room only, Brian.
Yeah, you can't even get in them because you hear people rumbling.
And I bet people go, amen, amen. Preach it.
I did have a conversation with the EPA, which wasn't good. And it was about the windmill that they've approved to put out in Lake Erie as
The windmill in Lake Erie.
like they have out in the ocean. They're gonna put one in Lake Erie. They've already approved it. And they couldn't answer any of the questions that I asked them.
Does it float?
Nope, they're gonna go clear down and drill down below. And I'm like, isn't there quite a few salt mines down under? there?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the first thing I was just gonna say.
They'll hit one of
Flush
them.
that toilet. But no, I guess I wasn't very friendly with them because some of the things that they were saying just didn't sit well. So they've kind of swept this through without anybody really knowing about it and advertising it.
I would assume
So
this one.
where did you have to see the advertisement? You had to go to their website. How many people go to the EPA website?
No.
Okay, there you go. So I didn't leave that table very friendly.
I assume it would be a massive windmill.
It is a massive windmill. See, the problem is, even the other windmills, if you went into wind energy at all, it kills so many birds. Now, we have plenty of birds, so I'm not against the birds, but the birds fall to the ground and it causes bacteria on the ground. And then that causes a problem and it starts killing other animals on the ground because all this bacteria is laying down there and decaying. And then the cost to create that windmill, the stuff that goes into a windmill is very detrimental to the cost. It's very cost prohibitive. So it's just a long story. Wind is not a good option for Ohio.
Well, mine's 2 miles down. It's underneath the lake, but they're not gonna drill 2 miles down to put a footer in for that big windmill.
I'm going to be driving one of the trucks down there.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Little fault there. How many earthquakes do we have up there?
Major flush, toilet flush.
Yeah. So anyway, so it was interesting, but very disheartening. And I know I work for the government, disheartening to see how the government puts things through without letting us really know.
Yeah.
So happens a lot. Just the same as they shot down things floating through the air and we're all like, yeah. Don't go hot air balloon riding.
No.
Or tell Will Smith keep his feet on the ground.
Yeah.
All
right. Can you tell me what's the East Canton Village paper here that I have?
Yeah, what that is the fire station back a couple years back, I left that on the East Camp Village electric aggregation because it was like a couple cents lower. Well, they're in their last year and they sent out an opt-out that we could get off of it. I chose and talked to Jay Sell about it. He said, Brian, at 0.0495, that's what that actually is. That's lower than what we're paying now in our electric aggregation. He just suggested leaving it where it is. But then next year when they go off, they'll go off in 2024. Then we would consider getting that back on ours. He said, just take advantage of that, just like any resident could, if they were in the village.
And this is for the fire department,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sure, that's the only bill we have with the fire
Yeah.
department.
Yeah, we can't get it here, but the fire department sits in that village.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Good.
I've seen a lot of people in the village complaining about their electric. Are they all automatically on the energy, or if they moved in after it started, they probably would have to go opt in?
Yeah, and let's say, they should be able, like us, you can jump in anytime,
Yeah, they probably don't know that.
but they might not understand
I
that.
know, I'm just looking at this thinking, why would you not go in at that number?
Yeah,
Because,
Yeah, but they
once
don't
you get
all
in that,
understand that.
what's gonna happen though is next March of 2024, that's when that'll end, and they'll have to be negotiating like we did.
Like we did, yeah.
We just went
Yeah.
through,
Okay.
and not knowing what that market will be, we might be looking like the hero price now.
Right, really?
okay. Anything else for new business?
No.
Okay, if not, we're going to release employees. And thank you for being here, and we have Randy to take a motion.
Yeah, trustee Piro moves to go into executive session at 9:04 for matters required to be kept confidential.
Trustee Varian, second that.
Roll call?
Varian,
Yes.
hero,
Yes.
Griffin,
Yes.
904. Let me get everything on.
Thank you, Mary.
See ya.
Thank you, Stu.
Thank you.
See you, buddy. Oh, sorry, I got a bunch of junk in there. I'll get it.
Well, I just didn't want to prickle that.
It's fine.
I almost forgot about that. I did get it in a little